Okay, this was supposed to be continuous recording. Should use my glasses more. That accidentally stopped it. So we're in a new recording, but same question. Okay, the question that is posed. Okay, and I modified the question slightly in the narrative instructions. Is first let's label the four boundary lines. Okay, so well, as before, it's pretty easy to see that on this boundary line, x equals -2. I leave myself a lot of room, did I? On this boundary line, x equals 2. On this boundary line here, y equals what? Okay, it was 4 when we did the exponential function. And if you did similar thing with the quadratic function, it would again be 4. But in this case, the origin isn't at the lower edge, and it's not 4 units from the origin up to this line. It's only half that, 2 units. So we have y equals 2. Down here, we have y equals -2. Okay, so we get some negative y numbers here that we didn't have with some of the other questions. Okay. So what are the coordinates of the corners? If you haven't done that, do it before you watch. Okay, well, this corner is on the y equals 2 line and on the x equals -2 line. So this would be -2, 4. And this point would be 2, 4. Because it's on the x equals 2 line, still on the y equals, oh, it's talking about 4. So it's on the x equals negative, this point, it's on the x equals -2 line on the y equals 2 line. This point here is on the x equals 2 line, y equals 2 line. That's 2, 2. This point, again, think it through if you haven't already done it before I write it down. Pause if you need to. But it's on the line x equals -2 and the line y equals -2. And this point is on the point 2, -2. Because x equals 2 here, y equals -2 here. Okay, next thing, what are the coordinates of the 6 construction points? Okay. Do the coordinates of the construction points, really you first need to do the coordinates of the construction lines. So let's label those. Okay. What are the coordinates of the construction line? Stop and right them in. You know, I assume that we know very well from what was done for the exponential functions that this line here is x equals -1. I'm going to I don't let myself enough room. And we're not just doing the grid anymore, so I can erase the word grid. You know, leave me room. Label my x coordinates. We know that this is a line x equals -1 here. This is a line x equals 1. And of course, here again is a line x equals 2, which I've labeled down below. Or I'll label it again up here. And I'll label x equals -2. Okay. These are the vertical lines. This one, this one, this one. Well, this one and this one. Now the y-axis is x equals 0. I might label that, but I want to leave myself room to label these 2 lines. What's this line? What's this line? Start with this. It's halfway between y equals 0 and y equals 1. Freeze that up before you wash it, write it out. Now, do better than I do. Leave yourself more room around the margins, because it's getting a little crowded in here. This is x equals 1/2. And this one, similarly, you should reason it out. You should understand why it is x equals negative 1/2. How can you label the horizontal construction lines? And I'm going to go on and do that, but ponder it and reason it out. And if you do, maybe you're going to see that they completely mimic the x coordinates. Okay, so top construction line here, it's halfway between 0 and 2, y equals 0 and y equals 2. That puts it at y equals 1. Halfway between y equals 0 and y equals 1 and y equals 1/2. Similarly, over here, halfway between, this line's halfway between -2 and 0. That's going to be at y equals -1. And halfway between y equals -1 and 0 is y equals -1/2. Well, if you read the x coordinates, -2, -1, -1/2, 0, and I didn't write 1/2, 1, 2. And then the y coordinates, -2, -1, -1/2, 0, 1/2, 1, and 2. Same numbers exactly. And of course, go back to the idea that we have the identical construction for the horizontal lines that we had for the vertical lines. So we kind of expect that if the red dot, if the origin of the coordinate system is in the center, think about it a little bit. Then the x coordinates of the various construction lines match the y coordinates, of course, on a construction lines. Okay, that's worth thinking about. Now, what are the coordinates of the construction lines? We got those. Again, pause. I get through. Okay, what coordinates of construction points are this point? X equals -2, y equals -1/2. The column. Okay. Here we have, let's see, what x line is it on? So an x equals -1, y equals -1. So this would be -1, -1. Point down here is that x equals -1/2, y equals -2. Now, a little careful, we don't really have room. The other side. So there we have it. Okay. Then we can label these again, looking at this line is on the x equals 1, or this point is on the x equals 1/2 line. The y equals 2 line. This point is on the x equals 1 line. And the y equals 1 line. And this point is on the x equals 2 line. The y equals 1/2 line. Now, hopefully you have those labels, or you watch me do any of this. So I've got them labeled on the graph with purpose this. The next thing I want is tables. If you do y versus x goes first, y goes second. Okay. So there's a table. if you didn't know that already, go ahead and fill it in. Oh my, where's my white chunk? Here we go. Okay, well, table for your y values, starting from left to right, x values. Start from left to right, we have -2, -1, -1/2. And then what do we have? We have 1/2, 1, and 2. -2, -1, -1/2, 1/2, 1, and 2. Just vertical lines. Except for the y-axis, we don't include y equals 0 because there's no point on the center, vertical center line. Let's see more why that is. Let's make sure we understand it and understand that since there can be no point here, these two curves have to remain separate. Okay, so what are our y values? Well, we can just read them off. -2, -1/2, we get -1/2. We get -1, -1, we get -2 here. And then we have 2, 1, 1/2, there's our table.
Wait.